Hello, this is Practicum 2 for Info 287, AI, Data, and Ethics. I'm Katie Kizzier, and I'm presenting on the responsible use and adaptation of AI in public libraries. So just a few things to consider. We'll start by discussing data and privacy risks with the use of AI. We'll look at bias and discrimination and explainability, and end with some assessment tools that you can use for AI use in your library. Public libraries have historically been a trusted community service, and it's important to evaluate the use of these AI tools to ensure thoughtful implementation that continues to align with these values. The responsible use of AI must include a way to assess issues that arise and address them to provide accountability to the public. When you head to any public library website, there is a clear privacy policy statement posted. You can see that privacy and trust are at the forefront of library values in the community. Data collection through the use of AI tools can become an issue where privacy is concerned in libraries. According to the ALA Library Bill of Rights, everyone has the right to privacy and confidentiality in their library use, no matter their origin, age, background, or views. So why does privacy become an issue with AI tools? Well, AI systems need a lot of data to operate effectively, and this could amplify security risks and lead to privacy concerns with the increased amount of data collected. Typically, public libraries operate on a model of storing and acquiring the least amount of data, or privacy first method, and you're really acquiring the least amount of data needed to function. So that is to protect patron privacy. Before implementing any new AI tools, libraries should consider consent and the option to opt out of these tools as an essential part of maintaining transparent and accountable services. And these services should continue to value patron privacy and autonomy. This is important because AI and machine learning systems infer information from our data, and they may reveal things about ourselves that we want to keep private or that we don't yet realize. Here is an example about the predictive power of AI and some things to think about when you think about AI storing things like reading history, search history, and other tools that libraries may be implementing to assist with user satisfaction or ease of access. So for this example, I'm just going to talk about how browsing logs from Facebook combined with the predictive power of likes can be used to accurately predict political party, sexual orientation, intellect, sex, age, and other aspects of users' personalities. These predictions could be detrimental to a person's privacy and what they knowingly share with others and what is inferred by AI. Most general users don't realize the amount of data being collected, aggregated, and inferred from their browsing data. Now imagine this being applied to any use of the public library, including accessing public services, reading history, reference question data, anything that can be linked to patrons under the guise of making things easier for patrons to access these services. So these things are essential to consider, especially since libraries serve so many vulnerable populations. Data collection is really something to be aware of. So even if a tool may seem to gather innocuous data, consent and transparency is essential to maintaining trust in the community. When people don't feel like their transactions are private, they aren't likely to continue being customers. AI algorithms contain bias and discrimination, which is something that we are aware of. Researchers have presented clear research on biased algorithms perpetuating discrimination against marginalized populations. In a reader's advisory tool, this may look like only suggesting popular authors or rarely suggesting books by BIPOC authors. This could result in fewer checkouts of BIPOC authored books, which could then affect collection development and purchasing. So really, this is just showing that a feedback loop could quickly be created, showing that only the most popular authors are being checked out because they're also only being suggested maybe 9 times out of 10 to users based on a biased algorithm. So this can be really hard to show unless humans are evaluating the tool often and checking for diversity among any suggestions that are being made. Neutral algorithms do not yet exist, so steps should be taken to limit bias in the early stages of development by involving a diverse array of people. So when you're looking for new AI tools to implement, these are some questions that you can ask, like who is on the developmental phase of this process? Who's responsible for creating the algorithm? And does your company ensure that diversity is involved at each step of the process? So, when you're implementing AI tools, it's also important that they remain explainable to patrons. Users may want to see how the algorithm works and why they're being suggested certain things. A certain level of transparency and explainability is important for users to trust in the process. The high level group on artificial intelligence states that explicability is crucial for building and maintaining users' trust in AI systems. All of these things are important to consider before adopting any new AI tools for your public library. There is still a lot of discussion and hopefully laws emerging around data collection, privacy, and copyright regarding AI. Hopefully, this has given you some things to think about when evaluating AI tools from known trusted vendors, and then some things to ask when discussing these new tools that you'd like to implement. There are also algorithmic assessments out there that can guide you through the process of assessing any new tool you'd like to adapt. So, things like how to operationalize the ethics of your tool, how the public can provide feedback, establishing parameters around what data is collected, establishing responsible parties for the AI tools, and so on. Following an algorithmic impact assessment before implementing any tool that uses AI is a way to ensure more transparent, accountable, fair AI usage in a public library. This would align with the library ethics and privacy practices and the right to privacy laid out in the Library Bill of Rights. AI tools can be powerful additions to a library's offerings, but deploying them without considering the ethical impacts could cause potential harm and damage to the library's reputation in the community. To see further references, please see the final slide. Thank you.